What's going on, YouTube? This is Terminator Juice, and today I'm going to bring you my Wii U review. After 7.5 months of owning the system, I got a good feel for the pros and the cons, and now that we've had a lot of updates to the operating system, they've streamlined it, made improvements. I think it's a fair time to go over a review, and this is going to be geared towards the people that are on the fence about buying a Wii U and wondering if it's worth the price. And I'm going to start with the console and the gamepad, the actual hardware. I'm going to go over the pros and cons of each of those, and then I'm going to turn around, have the camera facing my TV, and I'm going to go over the operating system and the pros and cons of that, and then talk about software, games, and all that, and then give my final feelings on the system after 7.5 months. So without any further ado, we'll start with the hardware. Alright, so here's a look at the system itself. Obviously I got the deluxe model, which comes in black, and the basic comes in white. It's just real simple. It's fairly small and quiet. You got power button, eject, and sync button on the front, your disc slot, and then behind that door there's 2 USB ports and an SD card slot. Not sure what the SD card slot's really used for. I know you can't put games on it, maybe save files, but as far as I know you can't view pictures or anything, so I'm not even sure why it's there. On the back, as you see, I got the Ethernet adapter, but I'm not going to unplug the system so you can actually see. But on the back there's just 2 more USB ports, HDMI out, the sensor bar port, and the AC adapter port, and that's it. So the pros of the actual hardware are it's small, it's fairly quiet, it's not obnoxious looking, it just blends in nice, and from the front it kind of mimics like a terabyte external hard drive or something. I mean, it's a lot longer than the Wii, but basically from the front it's not a whole lot different. And then you know, it's just like I said, it's quiet and small, so that's really the only pros. The cons are the lack of an Ethernet port, which is just almost unexcusable in this day and age. I had to buy the adapter, which was $20 and uses one of the USB ports. The second con is the USB ports themselves. Nintendo gave us limited memory, but talked up the fact that you can hook up an external hard drive, yet they didn't give us USB ports that can power a hard drive on their own. So if you have an external hard drive with just a single cable, it will not work, because these USB ports do not have enough power to power the external hard drive and transfer the data. So you either need a Y cable and use both the USB ports, one to power it, one to transfer the data, or a powered USB hub to power the hard drive, and then you can just run the hard drive, just the data goes to the Wii U. So that's a pretty big con. Didn't find that out until last week when I went to hook up an external to get more memory. It's just unexcusable to have a USB port that can't power a hard drive when the Xbox 360 and PS3 are 7 years old, and they both run that hard drive perfectly. So pretty disappointed with that, and it's a bummer. The powered hub that I got, it's only $12, but still it's stupid that I had to do that. And the third con is the lack of an optical out. And as you can see my receiver there, I'm a big surround sound guy, so I actually bought an HDMI capable receiver so I could get surround sound. That's the only way to get 5.1 with the Wii U. I wanted one anyway, but still that was another $400 I had to spend when an optical out, which would have cost Nintendo probably $1 per system, I wouldn't have had to upgrade my receiver so quickly, and I would have been able to use my Triton surround sound headphones if I had an optical out on this system. So definitely the cons outweigh the pros for the actual hardware on the console itself. and next I'll go over the gamepad. So here's a look at the gamepad itself, and just to give you an idea, that's my hand. So it's definitely fairly decent size. It's very lightweight though. That's not an issue. It has about a 3-hour battery life on a full charge. I run the screen setting at 3. It looks best on 4, except at night. It's a little too bright at night. During the day, 4 looks the best. 5 is just a little too bright in my opinion. You can turn off the power saving mode and rumble. Obviously the rumble would save the battery life. The screen brightness does that as well. So the pros actually, I think, outweigh the cons on this. The pros are the screen quality. It's hard to really tell people how good this screen looks, or even post videos of it. As you can see, I got a nice 1080p LG Plasma 2012 model, and with this gamepad on brightness of 4, it looks better than my TV. It's just a really sharp picture, and it looks beautiful with games running. You can off TV play works great. I have no issues with any of the games, other than some of the stuff just looks a little bit small on this 6-inch screen. But touch screen is very responsive, and the layout's real simple. You got your internet browser, eShop, Miiverse. Everything's where you need it to be. Swap to the Plaza here. You can zoom in and out. Let's see if I zoom in here. You can scroll real easy. It's just a really nice screen, touch screen. I mean, the touch sensitivity and the overall quality of the screen is just really amazing. I was very surprised at how good it looked. The buttons all feel great. Analog sticks are great. D-pads, just, I mean, Nintendo makes the best D-pads. They always have. Nothing rivals them. You got your home button and your power button, and then you got the shoulder buttons, which I like, and the triggers, which they're not analog, but honestly, I have no problems with Need for Speed with the digital triggers. And Black Ops 2 is actually better having digital triggers than analog. So yeah, the cons are just the buttons themselves, the screen, and just it's very comfortable and lightweight. It's just a great controller. There's only one con, and that would be the battery life. 3 hours may seem like a lot, but when you're watching like YouTube, Netflix, and you go to play a game, you pretty much got to have your controller plugged in. I mean, you get the low battery warning after about 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours, and then after 3 it just flashes red. You got to charge it. So definitely a bummer, and the battery itself only takes up about half the compartment. I've seen videos. The battery's only like that size. So they definitely left room for an improvement there, and they need to release a better battery for the early adopters like me, and for future they just need to put it in the Wii U. You know, moving forward they need to put a longer battery life. I think that would be a pretty decent selling point. So anyway, that's enough about the hardware. I'm going to go over now the software, the operating system, and talk about that. So we'll see you then.